Keeping your kids safe online, the FBI is encouraging local parents to start conversations with their kids and teens and continue to have them to help them make smart choices and recognize threats on social media. That's why it's holding another Be Smart with Your Kids smartphone event in partnership with Duval County Public Schools. Joining us this morning is Amanda Vidal, the Public Affairs Officer with the FBI at Jacksonville office. Good morning. Thanks for being here.
Sure, thanks for having me.
So, you know, we have talked and agents have joined us several times over the last couple of years. And a lot of times with these academies, there's kind of a focus on sexual predators, but there is a new kind of startling trend that the FBI is tracking that's targeting kids, and it involves hate speech. Would you explain?
Sure, Jen. So there's multiple types of predators that are out there, and we've known about this other type of evil that was out there for a long time, but it's not something that we've expanded upon at our Be Smart events. And we really feel like this is the time to do it because of all that's happening in the world right now. So you have the predators that are out there targeting children for their own sexual gratification. You have predators that are out there targeting children for financial gain. And then you have another type of evil, and these are predators who are targeting children, trying to push their extremist views on them, and then motivate those children to commit violent acts to further those extremist views. And that's very concerning for us because we're seeing all of that hate speech and everything online. The speech itself is not the problem. It's the motivating anyone, but particularly youth who are very vulnerable to committing acts of violence to further those views. And we want parents to really think about that.
Is this individuals or is this groups? Is there something in particular with this hate speech that they're focusing on in terms of a bias?
I think it's all over the place. And racially motivated violent extremism has always been a concern for the FBI. Certainly more religious motivated extremism is a concern for us. We saw, you know, the Dollar General store shooting here was racially motivated, but then we also are seeing a lot of threats against our Jewish communities, our Arab communities, our Muslim communities now. So it's kind of all over the board as to who's doing it, but just the fact that people are taking advantage of youth who don't have that core value system in place yet, are very vulnerable, and who may be willing to commit violent acts to further these ideas that they believe that they hold.
And impressionable, and we know that you know, unfortunately, you know, our kids tend to get most of what they think is happening and believe is happening in the world based on something that they're reading online and not necessarily from a legitimate source.
Yeah, so this is what we want parents to talk about. Teach your children to think critically about what they're seeing online. We know there's misinformation and disinformation. Just because it's on the internet doesn't mean that it's true. So really think about what they're seeing and research these different ideologies, these different thought processes before they set their own ideologies up and their own opinions on things, to make sure that they're doing their research, just like you and I would do.
Yeah, and I always say, you know, the best conversation you have with your kids is sitting around the dinner table and just kind of talking about their day and what they might have been exposed to. I want to just put some perspective in terms of hate speech. I know the FBI has provided us with some statistics. So across the country, more than 11,000 single bias hate crime incidents involving more than 13,000 victims. I mean, this gives real perspective to how much exposure is out there. This isn't necessarily just targeting young people, but the reality is it's there. And that doesn't even, we didn't even touch on the multiple biases that may exist. And that said, you've talked about the importance of having the conversation with the kids. Are there any kind of warning signs that we as parents should be aware of? Maybe something that our kid says, our child says, that maybe should be kind of a red flag that, wait a minute, they're obviously getting something from someplace else that we need to have a conversation about.
Sure, and I want to flag for you, those statistics are what is reported to us in terms of hate crimes, right? So we really don't know, and we believe that the numbers of hate crimes that are happening across the country are actually much higher because people are often afraid to come forward. So just keep that in mind too, that we really don't know how big of an issue this is. In terms of youth, I mean, anyone who is expressing their extremist views and really justifying violence as a result of that, I think that that's a big motivating factor. And for us, when it comes to children, we're not looking to prosecute children at the FBI on the federal level, but what we are looking to do is get in front of children who are expressing these views or expressing their potential motivation or tendency for violence, and get them the resources they need before they go down that road. And we're working with the school districts. Be Smart is just one facet of a multi-level effort that we have. Also working with school district and school resource officers so that they can help look at these mobilization indicators and talk to the school counselors and the teachers and the administrators and get those kids the help that they need before they go down this path.
So there's a meeting. It's next Thursday, and this will be part of that discussion. Can you tell us a little bit about who should attend the meeting, you know, where it is, the information that will also be provided to parents? parents?
Sure. So be smart with your kid's smartphone. We're in our 6th year of this event. Thousands of parents and educators have attended. Our next event is going to be on Thursday, November 2nd. So a little over a week now to register for that. It is at James Weldon Johnson College Prep Middle. It is free and open to anyone. And I mean that's anyone from any school district. So even if you're not in Duval County, any one of the surrounding school districts, please come out and see it at this event. We'd be happy to talk to you.
Do you have to register? Can you just show up? How does that work?
You don't have to. We like that because what we've seen is the attendance grow over the years. So, to secure your spot, certainly we would like for you to do that.
Want
But
to
you
have
don't
enough
have
chairs.
to. That's exactly right. But and luckily we're at a position where we have so many people who are interested in getting this information. You don't have to register, but we hope that you will. And then you'll receive updates on events in the future so you can bring your friends.
And then it will be more than just hate speech discussion.
Of course, yes. We'll talk about the traditional predators who are targeting children for sexual gratification, as well as those financial sextortion cases that we have here locally. We talk about local cases here in Jacksonville that we have worked to help drive it home from parents. I want to note, though, that this is an event really that we gear towards parents and adult educators. Children can come, but parental discretion is advised because we talk openly about these cases that we have. We just want you to know that in advance.
So I feel like I'm exposed to a lot of these things a lot with my profession, but every single time you guys come on, I learn something for my own kids. So I appreciate it in terms of the conversations I need to be having that I might not be hitting on quite as hard and as frequently as I need to. So
goal
we
is to help you with
appreciate you being here.
Thank you, Jen.
And we want to remind also, if you are aware of any hate crimes, you are encouraged to report those to the FBI. You can do that by calling 800-CALL-FBI.